How you doing, guys? My name is Dylan Trainer. I am the co-founder of SMIRK Clothing, and today I'm sitting down with the wise and wonderful Sue Tierney. So Sue is a counsellor in the west of Ireland, and she's also my auntie. So the reason we're making this video today is because when I finished up college, I got stuck into a very bad cycle of negative thinking and anxiety for about 2.5 to 3 years after finishing college. I found it really hard to enjoy time with my friends, found it really hard to enjoy time with my families, and I was constantly going over this negative thinking. So I had put in a lot of research myself, trying to figure it out online and stuff, and trying to educate myself on it. But the real starting point for me was when I picked up the phone and I rang Sue, and I was starting to get the advice that I needed, and I had a starting point where I could build on and start working on.
And actually, Dylan, that is so common that people would mull over wanting to reach out for 2 or 3 years. So many people come into my office and say that I've wanted to pick up the phone so many times, but it really is. That is when you pick up the phone, that is your starting point of recovery.
Yeah.
Humans think 60,000 thoughts a day. And if we get into a cycle of those thoughts being predominantly negative, that negative thinking feeds right down into our feeling. And if we're thinking negative, we're going to feel absolutely crap. And if we feel crap, that will have a real impact on how we behave. So it'll impact our confidence, our self-esteem, our self-worth, what we believe about ourselves.
Yeah.
So if we're thinking negatively, we will start to believe stuff about ourselves that is not true.
Yeah.
Does that ring any bells?
100%.
Yeah.
Through all the problems that I kind of created with the anxiety and everything, not one of the thoughts were real.
Yeah.
Not one of them were actually, had any actual hold.
We call it in my job, we say the story I make up is. So we have all these thoughts going on in our heads, and of course all the thoughts are not true. They're stories we make up in our heads.
Yeah.
And if we focus in on those stories, we will start to believe it.
Yeah.
And what we focus on grows. So if we focus on the negative will grow.
Yeah.
The bad feelings will grow. How we behave from that will grow. And we get caught in this negative, vicious cycle.
Yeah, so for people, suffering in silence is a huge problem in Ireland, where people, they're not speaking out about it.
Yeah.
So the first step in getting on the right track is to try and speak.
Yeah.
To try and speak
to
out.
Open up to somebody.
Yeah.
Now I know there's a whole thing in the media lately about opening up to somebody. You open up to somebody who is safe to speak to, which it's in a confidential space, and that you're not looking for advice.
Yeah.
You're just looking for a space where you can take the thoughts out of your brain and say them out so that you can start to decipher those thoughts.
Yeah.
95% of what we think today, we have thought yesterday. So our thinking cycle is just like, it's a spiral. So if we can start to look at our thoughts, what are we thinking? Is it true or is it false?
Yeah.
Is what I am thinking true?
Yeah.
Because that if it's false, negative, that you're feeding into yourself, you will operate from that false and negative place.
Yeah. So another really hard thing for me was even when I was on the phone to you and you'd ask me, what's wrong?
Yeah.
And how are you feeling? It was very hard to describe what was going on.
Yeah.
I knew there was something wrong, but I just wasn't feeling myself.
Yeah.
So, I just say to people, I'm struggling with negative thinking, I'm having really negative thinking, and they used to say to me, what are your negative thoughts? And I couldn't even, it'd be hard to pin down a single negative thought to give them.
Because sometimes the thoughts are going so fast.
Yeah.
It's like a tornado in our heads sometimes.
So
how did you start to
for me,
focus in on what you were thinking?
With the journaling. So Sue would recommend it for me to start journaling, start writing down my thoughts and stuff, and that was a big part in actually starting to really see what was going on in my head. Like,
journaling is excellent. It is literally just take your page and just write, and if you think, oh my god, this is terrible, I can't possibly write this, write it down. And then it starts to take that whirlwind out of your brain and putting it down onto paper.
And you can start to really see a pattern of things.
I think one really important thing to know is that you are not alone if you are suffering from low self-esteem and high anxiety, you're not alone. 90% of people will go through a depressive stage at some time in their lives. 90%. So almost everybody will go through a period of some kind of depression at some stage in their lives. So if we're not feeling good and we think, oh my god, I'm the only one that feels like this, everybody else seems like they've got their shit together. No, they don't.
No one has their shit together.
No, it looks like it.
Yeah, it's all about putting on the face.
Yeah. When you go out for your few drinks, or you go uptown to do your shopping, or you're going to the gym, it looks like everybody is fine. Of course, they're not all fine.
Yeah.
Every single person you lay eyes on has a problem.
Yeah.
And when they deal with that problem, there is going to be another one coming up on the conveyor belt.
So for someone that is feels trapped in that cycle of negative thinking and that cycle of getting anxiety and stuff, the first step would be to start, or is to talk to someone?
Yeah, I would say talk to somebody you trust.
Okay.
Talk to somebody you trust.
And then start journaling.
Yeah.
Starting getting your thoughts down on paper and starting to get a pattern.
Yeah. And start to challenge the thoughts. You look at the thoughts that you write down, challenge them. Is this actually true, or is it false?
Yes, and the majority of it will be false.
Yes. It's the story I make up.
Yeah.
We make up the stories in our minds.
And is there any other tips you could get people that are trying to get on
the
right
track? You were talking about an app.
Yes, Headspace.
Yeah.
Headspace is an app that helps you through guided meditation. So it's just 10 minutes of mindfulness meditation a day, and that really helps kind of clear up your thoughts and slow down your thoughts and stuff. Mindfulness
is an excellent avenue to go to soothe the over-anxious brain.
Yeah.
And I highly recommend that everybody would do some research on meditation. You'll find some apps and you'll find a lot of stuff online about it. There's been meditation groups in your area. They're everywhere now. It's everywhere now.
Okay.
So that is very, very helpful.
Yeah.
But to open up and say, I am having a shit day.
Yeah.
I am not feeling great.
Take off the mask for a while.
Take off the mask. Exactly.
So much effort goes into trying to make yourself look okay.
Yes.
And to try and convince yourself that you're okay.
Yes.
That if you just take that off and put the effort into actually
being real.
Into being real.
And being
sorting out.
Yeah.
I would say, well, thanks a million for sitting down and talking with me.
It's my pleasure, Dylan.
I'm sure we'll be talking to you again, and we'll try and get more advice and stuff for people that are out there having some difficulties.